Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone to the Rise with Rami podcast. And today we have such a special guest, and it's so exciting because this is guest, the first incredible guest that we're going to have on the Rise with Rami podcast. So here we have the beautiful Saxony Cawthray, mindset guru, confidence hype queen, and the unapologetic voice behind Shit's Getting Real. Saxony is all about helping women step into their power, break free from self doubt, and finally become the main character in their own lives through aligning with their energetic world. Through her digital courses, newly produced journals, and raw, unfiltered content, she guides you through deep mindset shifts, body confidence glow ups, and of course, energetic alignment. So you can stop playing small and start owning your worth. Whether it's through subconscious rewiring, embodiment work, or just telling it like it is, Saxony's mission is simple: to help women stop waiting for one day and start living fully now. So get ready for an honest, no bullshit conversation about life, growth, and what it really takes to build confidence from the inside out. Welcome, Saxony.
Thank you so much. I am so blessed to be your very first guest on your podcast. I remember when I first started my podcast and having those big milestone moments is so exciting. So I'm so excited to be a part of your journey.
Thank you for being here. Just talk to us. Tell us. I know we just gave you that beautiful introduction, but I would love it to just come from you. Who are you, babe? Who
Of
are
course.
you?
So I'm just a girl, honestly. I'm actually just a girl. That's the
Girl,
thing. Like,
doing
I
big
think
things.
that these labels and these identities and all of these different things that people place on us or that we place on ourselves, they are vital to a different degree. But to
Mm.
my core, I'm just a girly pop. I'm
I
just
love
like you. You're just like me. And
exactly.
really, all it is just about spreading love and light and helping people see a better way of their future, releasing all of those things of the past that are holding you back and holding you down,
Absolutely.
and just stepping into whatever it is that you are.
Mhm.
Literally just a spiral of evolution. That is me. That is who I am. That is
Absolutely.
what I'm about.
When I see you, it screams so much confidence, which I love, and especially like around like body positivity, self-love, and just doing crazy things. Like you literally just went and traveled. Like I'm
Hmm.
just like watching you on the gram, like living vicariously through you. I'm like, this girl's just like living it up. Like, and that's what I love about you. And I remember meeting you at NLP. So you were assisting, and I still
Yeah.
remember seeing you. And I'm like, who is this girl? Like, she's she's really cool, and she's doing all these big, bold, beautiful things. So I just wanted to first of all just say that you are incredible, and I'm again just so excited
Oh,
to have you here.
thank you.
Um, Tell us a little bit more about how you're really helping these women or these people really just like stepping into their power. Like what is it about you that you just like give to these incredible people?
I think that the biggest thing is just the permission to be authentic.
Mm.
One thing that I notice so much, especially within the rise of social media, is
Oh
that
yeah.
there is this overwhelming fear of your reality not feeling good enough and
Yes.
your sense of self being confused because it's like now we don't just grow up in a town where the jobs we know are the jobs that our family or friends do. It's like we grow up in this world where we're constantly being told, like, but what about this pathway? What about this pathway? What about that pathway? What about this pathway? And so being able to actually recenter into getting rid of the outside noise and
Yeah.
listening into like what is actually true to you and to who
Mm.
you are as a person and to what you truly desire and want for your
Yeah.
life. That is the key point for me, and being able to be like, babe, take control of your life. Stop listening to the bullshit. Stop
Yes.
listening to the other people and actually follow your dreams. Like,
Yes.
even the travel thing, I went traveling when I wanted to go traveling since I was like year one. Like, my life was planned out for me. 6-year-old me knew what the fuck was going on. She was
Like,
literally like, you know what? I'm going to finish high school and I'm going to take a gap year and I'm going to travel the world. And then I'm going to go to university and I'm going to become a teacher and I'm going to meet my husband and I'm going to have 4 kids. And then we're going to travel again. And
oh
then we're
my
going to do
God.
this and we're going to do that. Like I had it all planned out for myself.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. It's that sense of like, okay, but as a kid, what did you want? Because as a
Mm,
kid, all I wanted was to teach people, which is exactly what I do,
yeah.
and to travel the world and experience life and just be this love of culture and this love of change and this love of scenery and
Mm,
really create that. And so
yeah.
in my adulthood life, that's exactly what I focus on. I focus on what year one version of me wanted, and I
Mhm.
just create that for her in whatever way that is possible.
I love that so much because I want to go back to how you said like it can just be so noisy and so loud. And you're so right. Like
Hmm.
I'm a Melbourne girly and I feel like a lot of people have this stigma about Melbourne people that all they do is just work and this and they're so busy and da, da, da. And like it's so true. You can really feel that here. And I love how you said like you just want to go down to the core and people lose that over time
Hmm.
because they get so caught up in the how about this and how about that and I can't do this and I can't do that, creating all these beliefs right along their journey, forgetting about the fun beliefs they created. Like you said, year one version of you was like, okay, I just want to help people and I want to do this. And it's like coming back to that people
Hmm.
just lose and forget because they're like, what about money? What about this? Or I've got a family and I've got to help here. And it's just like, if you just shut that out for a second and really go deep and remember who you are, like
Hmm.
remember where you came from, then you get to do that now.
Uh-huh.
It's so cool,
Like,
which is exactly what you're doing and what you preach. And I love that so much.
100%. And I think that that's the biggest blessing that self-development and leading into self-development tools like astrology or NLP or human design or gene keys, or there's like
Mm,
so many different avenues that you can go down, and like finding one that connects to you and
yeah.
actually allows you to see yourself rather than put these labels of like, oh, I'm even a coach is a label, like, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
coach, I'm a this, I'm a that. Recently, I've actually been really playing with that idea of letting go of the coach label and like
Mm.
removing it from all my branding and removing it from my profile,
Wow.
because I I actually am, when I think about the help that I provide for people, I don't want to particularly coach them. I don't want to do the work for them. It's a
Yeah.
sense of like, I want them to feel empowered to do the work
I love that.
themselves.
Hmm.
And this label of coach put this like emphasis of pressure on me as a person, because
Yeah.
I felt like, well, if I'm a coach, I need to be this like big, bright, happy person all the time. And I need to be like on 24/7 and I need to be consistently showing up and I need to be this and I need to be that. And
Hmm.
to be honest, that's not true to my nature. Like, I am naturally a coach in the sense of every time I open my mouth, the things that come out help people. I don't
Yeah.
have to have a label. That's just who I am. That's just the essence of who I am at my core. And so being able to utilize different tools of self-development, and specifically astrology at the moment has been really
Hmm.
helping me, but being able to use different tools to learn and accept and love every single part of who you are as a person
Yeah.
really emphasizes that sense of like, you get to actually decide whether that thing is right or wrong for you and what direction is right or wrong for you. And that
I
is the key.
I love that so much. And I feel like that landed so hard because when I first started my journey, I remember people would be like, oh, you're supposed to be positive all the time. Why are you angry? And why? And it's like, because I'm human, I just know how to deal with these emotions really well because I have really good tools now, like through NLP for me personally. But it's like, I'm still human. I'm allowed to cry. I'm allowed to get upset. And I think a lot of people who come into this space think that they can't. And you're so right. Like that label can be really powerful in two different ways. And like I feel that a lot in my current role outside of coaching, like, you know, what I do for work, my essential work, there is such a hard label on that, even for like nurses and fireys and things like that. It's like, people just see them as that. And it's like, we're actually so much more because we're just human. We're just people. We're just girls, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
Literally
I just
just a
wanted
girl.
to, yeah, I
Just
just
a
wanted to
girl.
point that out. But I also, what I wanted to pick up on is how you said astrology has been really big for you at the moment. And I would love to dive into that because me personally, I actually don't know a lot about astrology. And it would be really cool for my listeners and your listeners to actually like learn more about it because there's so many people, and like you said at the start, so many different modalities, so many different
Mhm.
things out there. And sometimes for some people, it can feel overwhelming. So they're like, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to like
Yeah.
look at that page, forget it. There's too much. So I would love for us to actually open that world up just slightly so people have it in their awareness. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, of course. Astrology has been something that I resonated with since I was little. My mum is quite a like open and spiritual person, so I was blessed enough to grow up in a household that openly spoke about star signs, that
That's
openly
cool.
spoke about universal energy, that often like we spoke about moon cycles and
Yeah,
moon rituals and all these sorts of things. However, it didn't really connect in with me until I started going into personal development
wow.
because before that, astrology was just that label for me. It was like, well, my label is I'm a Cancerian and I relate to the things that are a Cancerian because that's my label and that's when I was born and like blah, blah, blah. But the more that I actually got introduced to the world of astrology and the deeper that I went into it, the more I realized it's actually just a blueprint of the
Mm,
energetic capacity that you hold based on where the planets and the stars and the sun and the moon and
right.
everything was in the sky at your time of birth. But the thing
Oh,
is like the stars and the sun and the moon and everything that's in the sky is constantly in energetic motion.
yeah,
And
right.
so, if it can have an energetic impact on you at your time of birth, it has an energetic impact on you at every moment of time.
Wow, that's wild.
Right.
Like I
Right.
said, I don't know much, so I'm mind blown. It's so cool. It's like for me, it's like cool. I'm a Cancer, and it starts and ends there. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
People say Cancers are emotional, and I just take that on board. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in tune with my feelings. I'm happy about that. As for anything else, like I hear people that are like, oh, but this moon's rising and that moon. And I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like, this is
Yeah.
just like it's crazy. It's so cool. Anyway, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. But I'm like,
No, that's
every time I
fine.
learn
But I
something new,
think
I'm just like, tell me more.
I think that's the thing too, because like you said, when people speak about astrology on a basis of it's their life passion, a
Mm,
lot of the time they're using these words that make so much sense to them, but
yeah,
to like us, it just goes like shoomp straight over your head.
absolutely. Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know what's a rising and what's an ascendant and what's a
No.
descendant and what's Venus got to do with it. And now Jupiter's coming into play and like, what the frick is Mercury and why is it in the microwave? Like, it's
Oh
so
my God,
true.
literally, you're so right. People throw these
Mhm.
terms, and I'm like, I'm just gonna pretend I know what you're saying, but I really have no idea what you're saying.
Exactly. But the basis of it, like, it's such an ancient study. Like,
Mm,
astrology comes from well before civilization looked like the way civilization looks right now.
yeah.
And I think as females, with working with the moon and the moon cycles of menstruation, we are so
Mm,
much more naturally, intuitively connected to that source. And we have such a strong energetic pull towards utilizing the energies of astrology and utilizing the energies of the universe
yeah,
to
right.
actually move through different stages of life. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not someone who sits here like at nighttime studying astrology and
Yeah.
reading everything about it. And like there is so much more to know that I do not know at all.
Hmm.
But for me, it was that sense of like just knowing the basics
Yeah.
of what planets have what energetic effect, what star signs represent different sort of like energetic emotions or energetic capabilities, and then really deeping into your own astrological chart of like, cool, if my Venus sign, which Venus is a planet of love, and it's like, so my relationships and my love, if that
Mm,
sign is connected to this specific zodiac or this specific star sign, then it makes sense to me why I feel more emotionally in tuned in my relationships versus more strategically based in my relationships.
Right.
So, for example, with me, my star sign, my sun sign, which is basically how you feel on the inside. Like it's that sense of like, this is
Gotcha.
my personal identity of like how I relate to myself.
Yeah.
That is a Cancer. And so that is a deeply intuitive sign. It is a
Hmm.
deeply emotional sign. We're the crybabies of the zodiac. And trust me, I cry all the motherfucking time. So I feel that shit to my core.
Me too.
And it's all about really having that homeliness. Like it's a very inside sign in regards to introverted rather than extroverted. But
Yeah.
anyone who knows me would say that I'm an extrovert because
Yeah, for
my
sure.
rising, my rising sign, which is the personality that you display to other people, is a Sagittarius, which is a fire sign,
Gotcha.
which is a very extroverted sign, which is a very energetic and passionate
Mm.
sign, which has a lot of change and a lot of shifting and changing
Yeah,
and a
right.
lot of just constant evolving.
Right.
And so those two signs, if I look at them, they actually play off against each other. So a lot of the time in my life, what I find is I have this internal battle between wanting to be grounded and be
Mm.
stable and be really set in stone and have that home base of the Cancer sign in comparison to that wanting to run away and travel and do all of the things and change my life every six
Yeah,
months and
feels.
cut all my hair off, then grow all my hair out and do all of the different things that are characteristics of a Sagittarius,
Mm.
right? And
Gotcha.
so being able to look at that allows me to not sit in this box of, oh, I have to be this particular way.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, well, no, I get to be both of them. Like I
Mm.
can feel this and this is true to my core. So I can create this for myself in this rising area as well.
I love that so much. And I feel like that applies to so many things because people always feel like they need to be one way or they have to be that way. It's like, that's not the
Doesn't
case.
exist.
Same with
Mm-hmm.
making a decision. It's like, it doesn't just have to be one thing and that's that. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
can have more. And that's what helps, I feel like for me, helped me expand my mind so much when I decided that I could just have more and be more. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be in a box.
No.
It's like you
And
decide.
that's the thing. Like, I think for me personally, that real deep centered truth of whatever happens is happening for a reason has
Hmm.
allowed me to create more less expectations on the choices because you have that sense of like, but is this the right decision to make? Is this the right thing to do? And it's like you're
Yeah.
going to learn the right lesson either way because if you don't learn it
100%.
this time, it's going to repeat and you're going to learn it the next time.
Hmm.
And so being able to just see yourself from a point of view where you're actually putting your needs first rather than the needs of the noise from
Yes.
outside of you,
Yeah.
that is what I've been using astrology for. And
Mm.
not only like, even in understanding yourself better, for sure, like I think that's where I started with astrology. It was that sense of I want to understand who I am in my core. I want to
Yeah.
understand what my energy is. I want to understand how I portray myself to the
I love
world.
that so much.
And I want to be able to love all of those different parts of myself rather than that sense of like, why am I like this? Why am I like this? Like, I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I've
Yeah.
got to stop. It's like, actually, it makes perfect sense why I'm like this.
Mm.
And
I
I
really
have
like
complete
that.
acceptance, and no one can shutter it now because it's
Hmm.
like, well, I've accepted it in myself. So what are you going to say about it? I don't care what you think because I love that part of me.
Yeah.
But then going into this year, it's funny because it's actually a very like numerology based, a very
Mm.
significant spiritual year for me.
Yeah, cool.
Like a spiritual alignment, spiritual evolution based year. And in that, I was like, I want to get back into journaling because I used
Yes.
so much journaling at the start of my development journey and
Mhm.
I still use it a lot. However, it got to that point where I was only drawn to journal if I was in a bad state. I wasn't drawn to journaling
Oh,
as a reflective practice.
interesting. Yeah.
And that's great. And I really recommend that if you're in that mind crazy phase, get a journal, brain dump everything that you're thinking out into the journal and like really be able to assess the situation on paper.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, no, but I want to incorporate more reflective practices back in. But I don't want it to just be a like, dear diary, today I went to the shop and it felt so good. Like,
Right. I
ew.
don't know about you, but I've had clients before being like, I don't know how to journal. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's so interesting that people just
yeah,
don't know what to write. I'm like, there's no right or wrong. And I think
no.
that's what puts people off because they're like, oh, I don't want to just write this, this, and this, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And
Mm.
so going into that, I was actually looking into like, okay, cool. Well, if astrology is impacting us at all points in time, and there's constantly new moons, full moons, retrogrades,
Hmm.
portals, eclipses, like all of these things that other people consistently post about
Yeah.
and who are like, oh, this is going on energetically, this is going on energetically, this is going on energetically. It was like, well, how about interconnecting the energetic field of what is actually being raised at the moment spiritually and through astrology
Hmm.
and connect it in with the reflective practice of how can I align myself more with that energy?
I love that so much.
Because as you would know too, like sometimes when you open yourself up to being aware of your emotions, you have these emotions and you have these feelings and you can see the thoughts playing out in your head, but you're also like, where did this come from? Like, what is going
Definitely.
on right
Yeah,
now? What is
definitely.
happening? What? I'm confused. Like, my life was great yesterday, and now I'm sat on the floor crying my eyes out about like a popsicle
Something
stick falling.
silly.
Like,
Yeah.
what is going on right now? And
Literally.
so being able to look at sort of like what's actually being brought up energetically in regards to the shifts and the frequencies of things that are happening in the sky at
Yeah.
any point in time and being able to use them to reflect so that not only you can like release the emotions that are coming up in the portals of time where there is such a strong channel of energetic release,
Hmm.
but also in those moments in time where the motivation and the energy and the creation and all of those positive spaces are there. Because there's so often that you'll be like, I have all of this energy and I don't know what to do with it. And like, because you
Yeah.
don't have that direction and you don't have that sense of like, okay, focus your energy on this thing at the moment. This is what the universe is trying to push you towards. This is the evolution that we're going on as a unity.
Hmm.
You just get lost in it. And then you get that sense of you fall back in the emotional time to being like, fuck, my life sucks and I don't do enough and everything is
Literally that
going
pit.
wrong and I just don't
Hmm.
even know where to begin. Like when I tell you I'm a girl, I'm a girl. I have stuff too. I have this stuff too. It's just that I utilize these tools to
Yeah,
actually help me process it in the moment.
exactly.
And that's the thing, like these energetic fields are always at play, always at play. We are human beings having an energetic experience on this earth.
So
And
cool,
so
isn't it?
if we can tune into that energy and we can make it easy without having to do 500 hours of learning the planets and learning the stars and learning the sky and
Yeah.
having a telescope to be like, where is it? Where is it? Like, if we can just make it as easy as possible, then we can all raise our vibrations at the same time.
Mm, yes. Oh, I
And
love
that's what I love. And that's why I created this journal for this
Yes.
year where it's like every single week you have a breakdown of exactly what is happening in the sky. You have the moon cycles and what zodiacs the moon is going through and the different energetic releases that come with that. You
Yeah.
have who's in retrograde, which basically just means that the planet is moving backwards through the zodiac
There you
sign.
go. That heaps of people listening probably had no idea what that meant, and now they do. So you're welcome, everyone.
Exactly, exactly. And it's so funny because people hear retrograde and they like freak out because they think like, oh, it means everything's going to go wrong. But it's like, actually, that's not what it means at all. It
Mm.
means that it's time to sit back and reflect and let go of the things that are no longer serving you.
And see, this is the thing with there being too much information out there is that people will not know what's actually correct.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. And like a big part of my purpose is to connect people deeper in with their sense of intuition. And I
Mm.
think that is such a beauty of a journaling practice. So after you have the
Absolutely.
week description, you then have 4 questions to answer that are all related to the energy of that week.
That's amazing.
So, for example, I have one here
Oh my
and
God.
we're looking at April. So anyone who's listening, this might be yours for the week. April 1st to the 7th, we have April begins with a blend of visionary energy and practical grounding as the transformative effects of the Aries solar eclipse and new moon on March 29 continue to ripple through the week. Aries' bold and decisive energy pushes you to take action on the intentions you set during the new moon. Meanwhile, the moon's movement into Taurus stabilizes the fiery momentum of Aries, reminding you to approach growth with patience and determination. Mercury retrograde in Aries encourages continued reflection on your communication style and decision making processes, urging you to refine your plans before moving forward with full force. By midweek, the moon's transitions into Gemini brings mental stimulation and curiosity, making it an excellent time for networking, brainstorming, and exploring new ideas. Like
There
that is
you
actually
go.
how easy it gets to be to
Yep.
utilize astrology in your weekly planning because you
Mhm.
can look at that and be like, cool, okay, well, if like I am going to plan out my week, I'm going to do all of the things that require action towards the
Mhm.
end of the week because that's when I'm going to have the most motivation energetically.
Exactly. That's so great. Rather than like forcing it at a different time when it actually doesn't feel that good. Because we all have those different random spurts of energy. And it's like when we have all that energy, it's like, yes, I'm going to do this and do this and rah, rah. And then you don't have the energy anymore. And it's like, oh, this just feels so hard and slumpy and rah, rah, rah. So you're right.
Mm-hmm.
What a great guidance.
Exactly. And it's also just that sense of that may not be what is your focus because also we're human beings and life happens and you never really know what you're going to be going through at any point in time. But it just provides you that access to the energy at least to be like, cool, I'm going to at least connect in with it and I'm going to
Yeah.
at least feel into it and really step into that power and into that position and be myself in that
Yeah.
as well.
I love
Um,
that.
and then the questions, there is more as well. That's just
Yes.
a little teeny tiny spiel. But the questions for that week are then how am I really feeling right now? Which
Oh, good one. How
again
am I really
creates that
feeling? I love
sense
that.
of what is actually going on with me. Let me sit and reflect with
Hmm.
this and see how I'm feeling about the intentions that I'm setting and see how I'm feeling with this movement and this motivation. And then how does change make me feel now in comparison to last month? How would I like it to make me feel?
Good questions.
They're great questions. They are.
Oh my God, well
And
done.
how can I balance optimism with realistic planning?
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
this is that tweak of that Taurus energy, which is such a grounded energy in
Yeah.
regards to the Aries energy, which is such a like just push forward, like ram all the way through energy. It's that
Yeah.
sense of I've got things to do and I'm not going to be lazy, but how can I do them in the most optimistic way
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah.
Right. And
So
then
great.
last one, what is my main intention for this month and why is it important to me? So,
Oh, great. Why is it important to me? And it always, I feel like people always write these goals and intentions and stuff like that, but forget why. And that's the
mhm,
key. Like why you actually want to do it. Because when you feel like you don't want to do it, you're getting lazy, getting tired, you go back to that why. I love
mhm.
that. Yeah.
100%. And so every single week, there's different questions that just bring you back to that reflective state of how aligned am I with the energy
Hmm.
that is around me right now? How aligned am I with my goals? How aligned am I with my wants and needs? How aligned am I with my emotions? How aligned am I with myself and my soul and my higher purpose and
Hmm.
all of those things. And it doesn't have to be a sense of your goals have to be this massive, big, like, I'm going to
Yeah.
be a millionaire and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Like, your goals could be as simple as like staying healthy for the month,
Yeah,
or it could be as simple as
exactly.
making sure you get enough sleep. Like, whatever your goal is, whatever it is right for you. But it's about
100%.
giving yourself that time and reflective space to actually be in tune with yourself
Hmm.
and not the outside world.
And that's the thing, though, is giving yourself that time, I think is so key because there's so many people out there that want to do the journaling, they want to do this and they want to do that. And it's like, you actually have to give yourself that spaciousness. And I always say this to my clients, I'm like, you have to, if you're a busy bee, you're a busy girl, right? That's okay. But you have to create the spaciousness somehow. And it doesn't always have to be go, 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 go energy. And like, this is such a perfect way for you to reflect on your week, on your month, and be like, cool, what needs refining? Or what was actually really great that I want to do more of? And like, how can we self audit if we don't actually note these things down? Right?
100%.
Like, people think that mindset works this big, crazy, hard thing. And it's like, it's actually just self auditing. Like, you have a business, you audit the business. You have a store, you audit the store. Like, people just forget that you are human and you also need auditing,
Hmm.
literally that simple. And what better way than to have a journal that gives you questions? So for the people out there who don't know how to journal, this is the way. You get the journal that gives you these prompts and gives you all this other extra cool information that you also get to learn along the way. Like,
Hmm. And the best part about this particular journal is like the whole front page of it is just all information on the most basic possible way that
yeah,
you can learn about astrology. So
great.
it's like,
That's what we
I
need.
tell you about the moon cycles, what they mean, what impact they have. I tell you about what the different planets are, what impact they have, what energy they create. I tell you about where astrology came from, how you can utilize it. I tell you about numerology so you can check out your own numerology year. Like for me,
That's
it's just
cool.
about make it as easy as possible
Yes,
because
make it simple.
we don't have to know everything. I don't know everything when I created this journal. Like I don't know
Hmm.
everything, but if I know more than you, I can make it easier for you to learn how to do
Absolutely.
it.
I love that. And I just love the confidence that you have to just go and do that as well. And like, you're openly saying, like, I don't know everything, but here, this is what I know. Go take it. And exactly,
Yeah.
that's what we need. Some people love the basic info. Some people love all the fucking nitty gritty, but it's like, here is something. And now you just get to teach people. And it's
Yeah.
that easy. That
And
easy.
that's
That's
actually
it.
what happens when you're in alignment. Because for me, it was a sense of I wanted to create this for myself. And then
Mhm.
for myself became to, okay, I'm going to share this gift with other people.
Yes. I love that.
And that's the most beautiful part because anyone who creates things from a place of serving,
Hmm.
it's always going to be so much more love and so much more care and so much more personality that's put into it, right?
Yeah,
Because it's that
absolutely.
sense of this was a intuitive download that I felt like, okay, this can help me. And so
Hmm.
if it can help me, it can help other people.
Absolutely. It's coming from such a good place, like such high intentions. And you know
Yeah.
it works. So it's
Yeah.
easier, right? Because it's worked for you. So it's like, of course I can do this because it's changed my life, right? That's how I felt about
Exactly.
NLP. When I did NLP, I'm like, shit, this changed my life. I'm going to go change others now. So it's the same
Mhm.
thing with you in astrology. Like, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it
Um,
was the same with me and NLP, even like I remember
mm,
doing before I went in to do my first practitioner training, I was chatting to someone who had done it previously and he was like, "Oh, you're going to be such a good coach, this,
oh.
that." And I was like, I don't even want to be a coach. Like, I'm doing this for myself. Like, I'm not doing this to
Look
be a
at you
coach.
now.
I've got other goals, I've got other dreams, I've got this, I've got that. Like, I was so I was so icked
Wow.
out by the coaching industry at that point in time. And
Right.
I went into the course and I did it for the week. And by the end of the week, I was like, it's actually a disservice if I don't share this gift with other people.
Yes.
That's how I felt. It was so much of a like, I'm letting the people around me down if I don't
Hmm.
share this magical gift and this magical tool that I have that has created so much love and so much abundance and so much clarity in myself.
I love that so much. Yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Where can people get this journal?
Just on my website, there's like a
Amazing.
million different versions because I
Oh,
wanted to make
cool.
it accessible for everyone at every stage of their
Yeah.
journey. So you can buy it in a 12-month journal, 6-month journal, or 3-month journal.
Oh,
And
amazing.
you get it digital copy, soft cover copy, or hardcover copy. So literally, babes,
So
whatever you
great.
want, I got it. I got it. So
I love
again, if you're
that.
like not sure about journaling and you're like, I don't know whether I'll really commit. I don't think a like 12-month is going to be like good for me. I don't want to invest
Yeah.
that money into something I'm not sure about. Just grab a 3-month journal.
Easy
Just
peasy.
start with 3 months and see how different you feel. See how drawn you get
Mhm.
to the practice. See how much your life changes. And then graduate to a 6-month. And then when it
Graduate.
comes next year, get the 12-month.
I love that you called it graduate. No, that's so great because you're right. Like some people will be nervous or they'll be skeptical or they'll be like,
Yeah,
what the hell is this? And then they're going to do it and then they're going to fall in love with it and be
a
like, why
hundred
did I just get the
percent.
12 months to begin with?
100%. You're gonna fall in love with it. I can guarantee you, you're gonna fall in love with it because the thing is, as well, like as a human race, we're conditioned to not love ourselves,
Mm,
but we actually do because even in the process of recognizing that you don't love yourself, you have to love yourself enough to recognize that.
oh, that was so great that you just said that.
And so utilizing these practices just creates a deeper sense of love. And so you're
Hmm.
going to feel more whole. You're going to feel more intuitive. You're going to feel more connected. And you're going to love yourself more every single time. I can guarantee.
100%. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen if you just take care of yourself? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
know?
what's the worst that can happen? Like, you're only ever going to grow. Like, with any
Mhm.
form of personal development, it's like people get so nervous, so scared, so this or that. And it's like, but you're going to gain something. Like, what are you going to lose?
Mhm.
I just
I
don't understand people.
remember I remember hearing once there's only two investments that you'll ever be guaranteed to make a return on. One of them is personal development and the other one is travel,
Yes. Love
which
that.
I think is also just sort of like one in one because I think travel is the biggest personal development that any journey can ever go on.
I agree. You learn so much about
Hmm.
yourself, about the world, about other people. It is wild. It's
Hmm.
one of my favorite things to do, honestly. I love traveling.
Hmm. It does. It just opens up your world and
Hmm.
you can create that energy in your own hometown.
Hmm. Yes. Bring that energy to you,
Hmm.
right? Because how many
100%.
people, I feel like we're going to deep dive into something else now, but like how many people go traveling to escape or how many people go and travel to just get away? And it's like, you can just have that feeling with you, that happiness that the holidays bring, or whatever like joy that you love when you go traveling. It's like if you just bring that to you now, your life will just be so much easier and so much better. You don't have
Yeah,
to
I
chase
think
the next thing and run after the next thing.
I think that the joy that comes from traveling is also the curiosity. Like,
Mm.
and you can create curiosity at any point in your life. Like right now, I'm living back in the town that I grew up in, and I haven't lived here for like 4 years.
Wow.
And it sucked to come back because I was
Mm.
like, ew, I feel like I'm 16 years old again. I feel like I'm back where I was and I haven't been here for so long and I don't know how to be here
Mm.
because I'm so different to the person that I was when I was here.
Yeah.
And so all I've been doing and focusing on is just creating curiosity. I've been talking to random people that I've never met before. I've been doing jobs that I wouldn't normally go for. I've been exploring new places,
I love
trying new
that.
walks, going to different beaches. Like instead of just repeating that same pattern again and again and again and creating that sense of like, my home sucks. Be
Mm-hmm.
able to be like, I'm going to act like a tourist in my own place.
I love that. Be curious.
Be curious. Just be curious. Even like working online, I didn't realize that people actually could work online until I went traveling when I was like 19, 20, and I met so many people who just worked online. And I was like, you can actually do that. Like that's not just
Yeah.
like a magical, mystical land that like only the rich of the
Literally.
rich have. Like anyone can do that. And so I came home and it was like now I had this whole other world open to me of
Right.
like there's so much more opportunity for what you want to do in your life.
Absolutely. Just got to be
But
exposed to it.
because that opportunity is there, you can create it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Once your world is open, your world is open. You just need to keep looking.
Yes. Oh my God, you have like these incredible one-liners.
It's actually
So-
so funny because I just put a reel up yesterday from my last podcast, and
Yeah.
it was literally me being like, I was born to talk. Like I was 100% born to
Yeah.
just yap, 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 yap.
I
Because
love talking.
when I get to that point of talking about things that I'm passionate about, it's as if a channel just like opens up
Yeah.
through my
How
head.
easy is it to talk about it?
Oh, I
And
just say things. And if you ask me to repeat it, I would be like, you think I know what I just said?
nah,
No,
that
I
was a
don't know what I
one
just
time
said.
thing. Seriously though, like if you're someone that's got the knowledge, I think like it's just so important to share it. And like you said, it's such a disservice if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
100%. And to be able to have the knowledge is one thing, and to be able to actually like feel the knowing inside of yourself, when you
Yeah.
feel the knowing and when you allow it to actually like really settle for you and you feel it so strongly, you have to believe when it's coming out. Like people never question me on things because I'm so believable when I say them
Yeah.
because I believe them so much in myself.
Exactly. And like I said, like when I first met you, I could feel that confidence just like radiating fully.
Hmm.
And it's so
Hmm.
important.
Which is also hilarious because when I met you, the reason that I was coming back to do that course was because I was in a state where I was like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do with myself. I don't really want to do the coaching thing anymore the way that I was doing it
Mm,
before. I really don't really want to be in Australia, but kind of feel like I'm stuck here financially. I
mm.
really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do that. Like in myself in that period of time, I did not feel stable and or
Yeah,
confident.
wow. It's so
But
crazy.
still, the projection of that inner belief, because even though internally those were all of the things that I was thinking, I still knew who I was as a person.
Yeah. And that's so
And
important.
so that confidence projects out, even though I wasn't confident in any decision that I was making at that point in time, I
Hmm.
still had the confidence in my ability to do it right.
Absolutely. And that's how you keep building confidence is like you keep showing up, even if it feels messy, even if you're like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with my life, I'm going to show up anyway. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, especially around confidence, is that they think they're going to roll out of bed and they're just going to be confident. Or like it just comes. It actually comes from when you do these things, even when you're scared, even when you're messy, even when you're like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Like that's how the confidence builds. So
Yep.
it's thank you for sharing that, like how you literally just said you had no idea what was going on, but you just did it anyway, right? You just show up. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how you create confidence. It gets built. If anyone's
Mm-hmm.
listening, you got to build it. Okay.
It's
It
true.
doesn't just
It's
come.
true. It's just creating that security inside of yourself, like deeper and deeper and deeper every single day. And self-love is where
100%.
it begins.
Yeah. And I love what you said before about like learning to like even if you're feeling so down or whatever, like you have I can't remember what you said, but it was like you have to love yourself to be aware that things need to change, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just it's you're so right. I think a lot of people when they face that awareness, they actually get scared. So they run. But you're so right. It's actually like, no, like the first most important step is that acknowledgement. And that's actually loving yourself. Even if it
Yeah.
might not look like it and it might sound like, okay, how can I love the fact that I don't like this? Right. It's like, well, now you know, so you get to work on it now.
Yeah.
That is loving yourself.
100%. And
That's so
loving yourself comes in so many different forms.
yeah, fully. And I think like I would love to touch on it because I feel like there's so many coaches that talk about self-love and then there's coaches who think that like the self-love thing has been taken a bit too far and like I would love to know like what your take is on what self-love actually is.
Yeah. Um,
It's
I
pretty
think self-love is genuinely just that security in knowing that you have good intentions.
Yeah, I really.
Self-love comes from that point of view of like, yeah, okay, what I did may have been perceived wrong by other people, or what I did may have not been the best choice at the time in hindsight, or how I behaved, or the way that I spoke, or what I said to
Mm,
myself, what I did to myself. It's about releasing all of those negative thoughts and
yeah.
actually being like, I can see how there was a better way, but I'm going to choose to love myself for where I was at.
Yeah, I really like that.
Like it's acceptance and security in knowing that you were doing what was best
Mm-hmm.
for you at that point in time.
Yeah, that's so great. I really like that. And just having those good intentions, regardless. Right.
Just good intentions. Like how can anyone, like people around me right now, like no one on this earth could fight me on my intention, because my intention is always from a place of love. Like
Yeah.
always from a place of love every single time. Even to a point of like when people do me wrong, if I was to get revenge on them, it would be revenge, but it would be in the sense of, you know what, you're actually going to learn your lesson that you can't treat people this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so for me, that security of I'm not being a bitch, I'm not being a horrible person, but I'm going to be the lesson that you need to learn.
Yeah. I really like that.
Like, and that, you know what I mean? And people who
Absolutely.
don't feel secure in themselves could possibly be triggered to fuck from that, because they'd be like, oh, so you're just allowed to go around being nasty to people and doing this and doing that. When I say revenge, I don't mean that I'm going around
Yeah.
like slashing people's tires and like doing crazy things, guys. Like, come on now. I'm not,
Yeah.
that's not my personality, but it's just that sense of like, I actually hold my own standards higher. And I know that every single thing that I do comes from that place of like evolution, which to
Mm,
me is love.
that was amazing. I'm obsessed with you.
I'm obsessed with you, girl.
Oh my God, that was so beautiful how you just worded all of that.
Thank you.
Oh my God. This has been so great.
Yeah, this has been a great episode.
This has been. I don't even know how long we've been yapping for, at least half up. But I feel like, is there anything else you feel called to speak on right now? Is there anything
No,
coming?
I actually feel really complete with that.
Me
I feel
too.
like
I feel
that
like
was such a good conversation. And
I agree.
again, the unplanned ones are always the most divine. They're so
I
yum, yum, yum,
I
yum.
I agree, and I knew with you, I was like, I'm not even gonna like I know it's just gonna come to us
Yeah.
because of the type of people, and like I love talking, so I'm like I can just a question will come out, something will come out, like it's really not that hard, And I think a lot of that comes down to just trusting yourself because I know there's so many people out there that would be like, oh my God, like tell me this and tell me that, and rah, rah, rah. It's like just trust yourself and trust that everything that you say is so perfect for that moment.
A
Yeah,
hundred
that's what I
percent.
tell myself. I'm like, whatever comes out of my mouth, it's so perfect. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Someone's going to
Yeah.
love this. Even if it's one
Yeah.
person, that's all that matters to me, you know?
Yeah. Write that down, guys. Trust yourself. What you say matters. Trust yourself. Write that down.
Everything you say is perfect. Well, thank you so much for this. I feel like this is really going to open the eyes and minds and hearts and souls of all of our listeners and anyone else out there because I just think like there's just so many important messages that need to be spread. And I'm really glad that we were able to connect. And who would have thought that meeting a year ago at NLP meant that you would be here today, like on this podcast?
Yeah.
Like I just never, you just never know what's going to happen in your life if you don't push yourself, if you don't get yourself out there, don't if you don't go do that personal development, who knows?
Yeah. A
Right.
hundred percent. Open your eyes, open your souls, open your hearts, and just let the world take you where it needs to go.
Write that down.
That again, don't ask me to repeat that because I will
No,
not be able to. That came from somewhere else.
that was amazing. All right. Well, can you please tell our listeners where they can find you, your Instagram, your handles, all of that sort of stuff? Because I'm sure they're going to be so obsessed with you now after listening to this.
Of course, of course. So you can find me over on Instagram as Saxony Cawthray with two Y's. It's literally just my name. And you can find the journals and everything on my website, which is just saxonycawthraycoaching.com.au. You can also have a look on TikTok. I do a bunch of just random
Love.
crazy things over there just for fun. It's like my playground. I love
It's such a
TikTok.
different vibe, isn't
It
it?
is.
You can
It
have so
is.
much more fun there.
It's so much more fun. I just do so much stupid things on
Yeah,
TikTok. So if
feels
you want to see that fun side, head on over there. Otherwise, they do like Facebook groups and stuff like that too. Literally, find me on one, you can find me on all.
amazing. Well, thank you. I hope everyone truly enjoyed that. And thank you for being my first guest, which is
And you're
such a
so welcome. Thank you
milestone.
for having
No
me.
worries. Lots of love.
Mwah.